Hey guys, so for this video I'm going to be giving my opinion on the Oscars, what I wanted to win, what I thought deserved to win, and all that stuff. I want to apologize in advance. I'm going to be looking at my phone and looking at over to the side on the computer screen a lot because there's a lot of information here and I didn't really want to memorize every single nominee. Sorry. So I'm not going to be covering every category. I don't feel qualified to comment on the Best Sound Mixing Oscar, for example. So I'm going to get the music awards, the animated film, screenplays, actors, actresses, director, and Best Picture. So let's get started. First off, Best Original Song, the nominees were City of Stars from La La Land, Audition, also from La La Land, Can't Stop the Feeling from Trolls, The Empty Chair from Jim, the James Foley Story, and How Far I'll Go from Moana. City of Stars won, and I think it's perfectly deserving. I read a lot of analyses of the Oscars saying that if a song from La La Land deserved to win, it was Audition because that's really the heart of the movie. But I think Best Original Song kind of stands apart from the movie itself. I mean, look at The Empty Chair from Jim, the James Foley Story. That movie was otherwise unrecognized during awards season, but this song was still nominated, so it stands apart. And I think City of Stars does a better job of standing apart from the movie than Audition did. I have to say I'm a little disappointed that How Far I'll Go didn't win because that would lead Lin-Manuel Miranda one award closer to an EGOT, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony, but I think City of Stars is a great song, and I'm happy it won in the long run. Best Original Score, the nominees were Jackie, La La Land, Lion, Moonlight, and Passengers. La La Land won. That was no surprise. And it makes sense that it won because it's a musical. The movie is kind of built around the score. I did listen to the other scores, and I liked them all. Jackie was interesting. I haven't seen the movie, but from listening to the score made me feel like it's kind of a darker tone than I would have expected. It's not just your average biopic. Lion has a good score. I don't have anything particularly special to say about it. Moonlight is really interesting. There's a lot of classical music and it's juxtaposed with the Bad Neighborhood in Miami setting. So that was good. Passengers, again, it was good. Nothing special to say about it. Moving on to the, pardon me while I scroll, animated feature film. I'm not really qualified to speak on this because I only saw one of the movies that was nominated, but I just need to get out my frustration that Kubo and the Two Strings didn't win because it's such a beautiful, amazing, it's a really good movie. Go see Kubo and the Two Strings. I should probably see Zootopia, and I shouldn't have quite a vendetta against it. I didn't even read the nominees, did I? So, Kubo and the Two Strings, Moana, My Life as a Zucchini, The Red Turtle, Zootopia won. I wanted Kubo and the Two Strings to win, but I'll have to see Zootopia and see what I think then. Again, I wasn't really qualified to talk about that one. Best Adapted Screenplay, the nominees were Arrival, Fences, Hidden Figures, Lion, and Moonlight won. It also won the Spirit Award for this, I believe, yeah, and a Writers Guild Award. It was a really good screenplay. Honestly, the only thing that bothered me about it was some punctuation that made it difficult to tell exactly what a line was trying to get across, but it was a really powerful screenplay. It made me kind of connect to a life that is nothing like mine. Very much deserving of the award. That being said, I thought the other screenplays nominated in both adapted and original were fantastic. Arrival, after reading the screenplay, it made me appreciate the movie itself a lot more. Fences was good. I'll talk about that part of Fences later, but you can tell that it's a play. It seems like it's very close to the source material of the play itself, and I can't quite tell what the difference is in the screenplay as opposed to the stage play. Hidden Figures was great. It's very by the numbers, but it's still a solid screenplay. It was enjoyable to read. Um, Lion was also fantastic and very powerful for me, and I'll talk about that a little bit more when I get into the Best Picture race. Best Original Screenplay, the nominees were Hell or High Water, La La Land, The Lobster, Manchester by the Sea, and 20th Century Women. Manchester by the Sea won. And again, a lot of the things I have to say about the screenplays I'll end up saying once we get to the Best Picture section, but Manchester by the Sea was a little longer than I think it needed to be. It was very good, but I think they could have cut some parts of the screenplay and it would have been fine. Hell or High Water was really solid. The only quibble I have is with their description of female characters. It's a little unimaginative and reduces them to appearance, and it was a little offensive at times, but the story itself is really, really solid. Sometimes people think that a movie has to be super artsy and like deep and hard to understand and have all of these confusing layers to be a good movie, but you can have an honestly like fairly straightforward plot and it can still have those layers and be easy to understand and just be a good movie, and Hell or High Water was one of those. La La Land, I had my doubts about because I thought, well, it's a musical, you know, it probably depends more on the music, but the screenplay was also amazing. I might have wanted that to win, except for something I'm going to talk about in a minute. The Lobster, so that screenplay wasn't officially released online, and I only read a 2013 draft. So I don't know how accurate it was to how the film turned out in general, but it was very wordy. There was a lot of description. It's a great story, but I think the screenplay could have been a little more concise. And last, but definitely not least, 20th Century Women. I really wanted this to win. It wasn't nominated for anything else. Annette Bening did not get nominated for Best Actress for this movie, which makes me very sad. So this was its one Oscar nomination, and I knew it was a long shot, but I really wanted it to get that recognition. It's a beautiful, beautiful screenplay. It's written in a way, it shows the dialogue, and sometimes it describes visuals that aren't what's happening in the scene, but like, you know, stock footage or pictures from the era it's in, which is 1979. And it was, I don't know, that was a really cool feature of the screenplay, and just in general, it was a beautiful movie, and it especially resonated with me, and I think even though it took place decades ago, it still really resonates today. It was a great movie, and it didn't win anything, and that makes me sad.